Today at Manchester Theatres, I am with the wonderful Annie Kirkman and Killian MacArdle, who are going to be performing in Dracula, The Bloody Truth. It is coming to the Octagon Theatre Bolton from the 11th of June, and I, for one, cannot wait. Now, neither Annie nor Killian are strangers to the Octagon, having performed here before in quite a few different shows. Annie has been here in Ladies' Day. Killian has been in Animal Farm and A View from the Bridge. They've been in other whopping shows as well, such as Beryl and Grown Ups, but today it is all about Dracula. So thank you both for joining me mid-rehearsal. I do appreciate your time, so thank you.
Sure, thanks for having us.
So Dracula, this isn't the kind of story that people might be expecting. It is not the Bram Stoker version. It is your own kind of bloody truth version. So tell us a little bit about the story.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, because it's definitely not it's not a serious retelling of Dracula at all. It's a madcap comedy told through the eyes of Van Helsing, who's here to tell the real truth about what happened. And he's hired a group of actors to help him do just that. But the actors aren't very good at their jobs.
No. Very happy to please, very keen to please, but not necessarily as skilled as would be needed.
So whilst they're telling this story, a plethora of things goes wrong around them, and hopefully will be an entertaining, hilarious night out, as well as telling this version of Dracula in quite a different way.
And I've heard that there's over 40 different characters in this. I mean, the mind boggles. I'm guessing that's to do with the troupe of actors and multi-rolling and things like that.
Yeah, we wear a lot of hats, literally. It's crazy. Even just in the rehearsals, it's that, right, okay, so you go off stage for 20 seconds and make sure you've got your entire costume off and then another costume back on, get back on for this light. It's a lot of get off stage, panic, and then get back on stage quite quickly.
And then remember which accent you're doing, and who you are at the time. So backstage another show, actually.
It really will.
I was going to say, it sounds like that it's that madcap that even if you kind of had one of them mind freeze blank moments and you came back on as the wrong character, it would kind of just go anyway.
It would work.
Yes, it would. It would.
I think the audience will never know whether anything actually went wrong or not.
Yes. It's a really good safety blanket, actually. The audience will never know if it's gone wrong.
So do you two play part of the troupe of actors, or what? And if so, like, what are your favourite parts that are emerging from it? Who are you in the show?
So we both play actors, and I play Dracula, which is great fun, and Dr. Seward. They're my main kind of two, and then have lots of smaller little parts around that.
And then I play another actor who fills the roles of Jonathan Harker, Renfield, and Lucy Westenra, which is great fun, really good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we've got, like you said, we've got Van Helsing in this, who is kind of telling the story of Dracula from their viewpoint, and they've hired these actors, but I believe they don't really like theatre. So how does that work? Is that kind of how all of this madcapness kind of begins, and does that play into the kind of slapstick element of it all?
Yeah, definitely. They're kind of there to do a serious telling of the truth, and really believe that this story needs to be told, but without the kind of frills and smoke and mirrors of theatre. But these actors are desperate to really, do everything and do it with the best of their ability. But as I said, it kind of various bits goes wrong. But I don't know, Van Helsing gets into it in a way.
I think his opinion throughout the show changes. It definitely starts off more like he wants a lecture with some visual aids on the side, and just more and more they take over. And then, I mean, even at the beginning, it talks about they're not having a set, but it's just furniture that he's brought with him to tell the story. More and more just craziness ensues, and I think he resents it, but does gradually begin to love it a bit more as well.
You can't resent the theatre for too long, can you? You've got to love it. You've got to love it. And so it's been described as a comedy / horror / gothic kind of thingy. So what I need to know, I don't do good with squirmy. So on a ratio of gory kind of blood kind of, I know there's the comedy element, but do I still need to bring a cushion to hide behind? Do we still have that kind of factor?
I think that's what we're really proud of, that there is moments of, we want it to be hilarious and comedic, and essentially that is the kind of essence of the show, but ultimately it is a horror that we're telling. So there are little moments of tension, yeah, that good word, and kind of hopefully kind of scary in a way, but you're not going to be jump scared, you know, throughout the show. And there will be blood. I'll just say that there will be blood, but again, it's I think
films call it mild peril is what is in the show.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mild peril.
Mild peril. Okay, so so well, that kind of leads me to what else I was going to ask, because I believe there's audience participation in this. So I want to know, not giving too much away, but maybe just a little nugget of what that involves. But if there's blood, is it kind of is there like a splash zone? Do people need to come in max, like pack a max?
Oh, well, good question. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're going to choose to sit on the front row, you've made that choice.
Second row.
Or the second row. You've chosen to be near the action. And it is one of those shows, you know, we start by talking to the audience. It's straight away. They're part of this world. And hopefully with us kind of from the get-go. So it is very much, talking to them, bringing them in. And there will be moments where we call upon them to help us.
Yeah. In terms of a splash zone, nothing will get stained.
No.
I think that's important to say.
Yeah.
You can wear nice clothes knowing that they won't be ruined. Yeah.
I love that you're not ruling it out, though. You just...
You can't rule anything out.
You can't rule anything out.
So when you've got a show with audience participation, because I've seen there's obviously other things that will not be the same, of course, but the kind of idea, and it fascinates me, how on earth do you rehearse a show where you're bringing the audience in when you've no idea what that audience are going to do, if they're going to join in, what they're going to, if they want their 5 minutes of fame and they're going to be like, because I've seen that before. I mean, how do you rehearse it?
Well, I mean, you can only do so much, ultimately. And I think we build a trust as a company that we know together we've got a lot of contingency plans. So we just think of the worst case scenario, and also in the rehearsal room, different members of the team will play that part and kind of throw stuff at us. Luckily, we've got a team of actors who we're all kind of quite all right, you know, doing improv and stuff, and we're quite comfortable doing that. So bring it on.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, one thing that we've been made like really clear with ourselves and everyone in the rehearsal room is, you know, if your audience member doesn't want to take part, we're not going to force them to.
No, absolutely.
If you're watching this and going, oh, I'm not sure, that doesn't sound like my cup of tea, you're not going to be forced to do anything you don't want to do.
No, never. Nice people.
Exactly. And there's always a way to, there's always, exactly. We've got all these versions of it that if we need to do a different one.
So
makes it more for us.
Well, I was going to say, I guess that really keeps you on your toes as well. And like the excitement of life for you of you never quite know what's coming and what contingency we're going to be using tonight. And that must be really exciting.
Especially for a show like this, you know, the audience is another character in the show.
Yeah.
You know, the whole conceit of us as actors performing a show, we are aware the audience are there. When they react, we are aware that is a thing, and that makes the audience a character. And that is such a, from, you know, when I've seen shows of a similar style, such a pleasure to be involved in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like so much fun. And also with all of this, the comedy and the audience and like you've mentioned, things that purposely go wrong, but you've got to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse to get that right, the going wrong, getting it right. Does the timing in a show like this almost take longer to rehearse than the learning of your lines? Because everyone just thinks, oh, actors, it's about learning your lines. But I imagine with something like this, like you say, it is building that camaraderie with your team, and it is the timing and just making sure that's spot on each time. Is that kind of the harder part?
Yeah, it's choreographed. It's choreographed number.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to get the beats right, because both to make the best of the joke, but also for a safety point of view, you know. We don't want any injuries on stage. That's not what we want to do.
It is quite amazing when you go and see a show that kind of things go wrong or whatever, and it looks like chaos on stage, but it is organized chaos. It's been rehearsed down to the T, and those beats are the things that make it funny. And it's quite, sometimes you go on and you think, oh, I've got this, and then you do it and the beat's slightly off and no one laughs, and then you're like, oh, and it's a matter of seconds that it can really change what the reaction is and what you want to deliver, really.
It sounds like a show that is just constantly alive, like completely. For a performer, it must be an absolute dream come true. What are you most looking forward to kind of sharing with everybody with this show?
I think, well, we've had so much fun, haven't we? Like haven't we?
We have.
We have.
And I think I'm just excited to share that with audiences. And we're at a point now where we're kind of, you know, getting into runs of it, and the people that are in the room have seen it a few times. So getting those fresh faces in and seeing it for the first time and experiencing that for the first time, I think is going to be amazing. And having been to Bolton before, I know that the audiences there are up for a good night. So I feel like it's a great show to bring to that audience, because they'll hopefully be on side straight away because they're ready to have fun. So that's great.
Yeah, we're all excited. We're all so excited. Oh, thank you both so much. Honestly, I've been waiting for this one for a while, and I've had people saying to me, when are you going? Can I come? So yeah, there's going to be quite a few of us, and we cannot wait for Dracula, the Bloody Truth. It is coming to the Octagon Theatre, Bolton, from the 11th of June, and we've got you for a while, so there is no excuse not to come and apparently sit in a splash zone. Thank you both so much, and we cannot wait to have you fly in. Thank you
so much.
Are you interested in truth, in justice, in matters of the metaphysical? I'm so sorry. I should introduce myself first. My name is Professor Abraham Van Helsing, and I would like to invite you to join me for an evening exposing the dark subject of vampires.
Professor, I've got the fake blood for the show about fake vampires.
Not now, I'm doing a sales pitch. Wait! Did you say fake vampires?
The fake blood for the show about fake vampires.
No! Vampires aren't fake, that's the whole point of the show. They're real.
Are they real blood for the show about real vampires?
No, the fake blood for the show about real vampires.
The fake blood for the fake show about real vampires.
No, you imbecile. The show is real too. Vampires are real. And ignore that. You can learn the truth about Count Dracula. The bloody truth.